To the 8 companies who's here. Happy to meet everyone. So hopefully we can connect after the session as well. But jumping into the topic for tonight, so I'll just share my screen, no? So, like, sige. I was asked by CDO Bytes team through an invitation to talk about traction and metrics, no? Um, Basically, how do we measure our success as a business or as an enterprise? And in your case, as startup companies, it's because maybe CDO Bytes wanted you to focus on the right traction, the right metrics, or maybe at first, no? So people are using jargon traction repeatedly, but we don't know yet what traction is really all about. What are the things that we need to monitor, or to keep track, no, when people or when we are talk about traction. But I think Mary mostly talked about my profile earlier. I also handle some businesses, so we can relate, as entrepreneurs. And then in several institutions, I also work with UP system, with EG Philippines and Upgrade in a Lab, which is my full-time work. No, in terms of designing incubation like CDO Bytes and acceleration support to entrepreneurs. But it's not limited to tech companies. We've been extending our support to non-tech companies as well, like MSMEs who would like to scale up their company, maybe to expand their brand from the Philippines to Southeast Asia. So which is typically the work of E3 Philippines, no? And then our company Upgrade is a nonprofit, so we've been supporting entrepreneurs for almost 5 years now. We have incubated 60 startup companies, deployed 50 million plus of funding to the startup companies that we support, and then create 3,500 plus job opportunities. You guys who's in the call, I'd like to thank you for making it this far in your entrepreneurial journey. You guys are creating job opportunities, no? Hopefully this topic will be able to somehow help you in one way or another in terms of achieving your business goals, no? So on screen are the main services that we do for our clients, our community. So we provide incubation and acceleration to startups and MSMEs. And then we also support enabling organization or yung mga entrepreneur support organization. Like government, from private sector, from civil society to harness or refine their programs. And then we also developed and designed an angel investor group here in Davao to provide capital in Mindanao. So it's called Davao Angel Investors Network. We've been around in Mindanao for about 3 years now. And what we wanted is to localize capital sourcing that entrepreneurs from Davao, from CDO, from anywhere in Mindanao will not go far to fundraise. No? So we wanted that, local seasoned entrepreneurs who's invested and build so many businesses would transition to investing in local startups and MSMEs. And we've been very active as well in terms of supporting corporations and MSMEs in transforming their business to be more sensitive and use the lens of gender, environmental, social governance to improve results in business. No? So the GESG, that's one thing that we're working on right now to basically make workplace equitable for everyone. No? So diverse and at the same time inclusive. So, here are some of the companies that we worked with in the past 5 years. And jumping into the discussion, so yung KPI, no? So since we're talking about traction and metrics, both two words, could be labeled as, your KPI, no, your key performance indicator. And when we talk about KPI, it's your label to success, no. If you set a goal or if you say you are successful, how successful are you with your business goal, right? So in terms of profitability, we need to name kumbaga, it's part of being clear and being uh, quantifiable, no? So, your key performance indicator should basically measure your success as a business because, as entrepreneurs, there's no individual or entity that will define our success, but it should be us because we are setting the direction of our business, no? So, how much profit should we raise? How many employees should we, or how many people should we involve in the business as partners or as employees? How many key stakeholders should be part of our ecosystem? So if you're supplying your product now in local sari-sari store, so would do you also intend to partner with malls? Do you also intend to partner with other distribution channels to extend your or expand your business ecosystem? So to put it simple, your KPI basically is the label for your success. So in this session, we will try to identify what metrics, what labels does matter, or do matter to a business. No, so because we might be, wrongfully monitoring and growing on some metrics that don't really matter in your business. So um, we call it yung mga tinatawag na vanity metrics, no? So vanity metrics are the metrics that we monitor that make us feel good about the business, about ourselves, no? So it fuel or it somehow boost our ego as individuals, but don't necessarily make the business profitable, no? So apologies if you can hear some music in my background, but hoping that my audio is clear, no? So we need to avoid monitoring vanity metrics or keep on like growing our vanity metrics. So say for example, your likes on Facebook, how much following are you getting on Facebook? So if these things don't necessarily grow our profitability, don't necessarily increase our reach to the market segment that we wanted to use our product, basically it does not add value to the success of the business. Because what happened is when we're an entrepreneur and starting, there's a lot of temptation that goes to us in different corners, no? So like, we get a lot of invitation, we get a lot of requests to attend hackathons, to show up in some events to become speakers or to deliver a talk to share our journey. But we don't we by not noticing that it eats up a lot of time from us and a lot of time from operation, that it divided our attention to be focused on the business. So kunwari, you're getting 3 invitation maybe on an average per week, no? So to show up in events, networking, etc. So though these things could help us in one way or another, but our absence of 3 days in business operation actually takes opportunity to manage the business very well, right? So if somehow, the vanity metric of being visible and not being visible outside and not being visible in operation is something that you monitor. So basically, dun tayo nagkaka-problema, no? Because you don't show up in operation might be affected. Your people might not work very well. There might be some important decision points that needs your presence and immediate action that you are not able to attend to. It's because you're busy outside showing up, no, in events that don't necessarily affect or don't necessarily contribute to your business success. So and this is a usual temptation of many entrepreneurs. So because ego is the enemy, diba? There's a book, Ego is the Enemy. Sometimes we are alluded by things that feel us make us feel shiny, make us feel better, but they don't actually grow the business. So we need to settle on the reality that building a business needs us to do the dirty works. No, it's not always the shiny things, it's not always the glamorous things. So you need to do the dirty work, be present in operation, be present in the value chain activity of your business. And we need to know your KPI or your traction and your metrics that matter. we need to know ano tong mga metrics na to. It's because as entrepreneur or as founder, no one is managing our time but us. No? So, yeah, ibig sabihin, so the only person who can effectively manage our schedule is us. Effectively manage our resource allocation is us. So, if we don't know where to put our investment in terms of time, resources, in terms of availability, no? So we might end up being focused on things that don't necessarily matter, no? So baka mas maging busy tayo dun sa mga bagay na hindi importante and then to things that don't necessarily grow the money in the business. So how do we actually maybe like some realities, no? So things that are not strategic to focus on, just for us to narrow it down some more, no? So first is one of the first thing that is not strategic to focus on is optimizing paperwork task, no? So we are very focused on like tayo as entrepreneur being focused on the paperwork task, no? So it should be delegated to other individuals. So we need to look at things on a macro perspective, no? So that the needle will move, no? Second is yung mga unnecessary perfectionism. So as a startup, we need to be agile because the first step is figuring out the system, and the system should crack down in the preliminary or initial months of running the business. So we should not expect that month one, month two, month three, even month 12 will be perfect. No, so what we need to do is to expose the imperfection of the system so we improve on it, and then so we would know what process to establish, so we would know which people to put in certain part of the process, no? So it's a daily experiment yung startup journey, right? And thirdly, yung mga premature optimization. So, especially today, no, na ang dami ng um, tools used for optimization. So, we only should invest time on optimization if it already is providing us insight or information that this process is strategic, and this process is, yielding profitability, no? So or yielding ang tawag nito certain productivity na if we make this process a standard, then certain quality will be produced over time, no? So if we are in the experimentation stage, so we should be okay in terms of change, no? So if in week 1 we are doing this process, it should be okay to change that process in week 2, because the insight or the information of using that process tells you that you should change this process, right? So because most of the MSME entrepreneur, they are fixated to like system and uniforming it all throughout. That's why if you talk to investors, they would tell you startups in terms of sprint, you know, so our sprint timeline is shorter versus MSMEs, no, in terms of building, right? It's because daily we experiment, right? And then fourth, so not building what users want, because you have invested so much time in building features, in building a certain product, right? So when the market tells you you have to change color, you have to change feature, you have to change the architecture of the interface, for example, of an app. So since you have invested so much time and resources, our temptation is to stick with what we have and not change, right? Because you have worked so much into produce that product or that milestone. But since we're building the product for the user, and we wanted the user to use the product, and the only way that they will use the product is when we change the product, no? So we have to really make that decision promptly to change the feature that is aligned to what they want, no? So drop the ego, and then drop everything, but follow what the market is telling you. So this goes back to, I think, your previous discussion about what really your previous discussion of what what really matters in terms of customer validation. So we wanted to get the validation from the users, from the market in terms of the product. So is this the version that you like? No, that's why when we're asking them in the validation, we always ask the question. So this is the product. So what do you like about the product, and what's your wish list? No, what are the things that you wish is present, or you wish is presented to a certain level of form or to a certain level of feature maturity, no? So anong gusto mong idagdag? How do you want it sana? Should you have the power to change the product, no? So again, so that's the four things that you should not focus much time on in terms of like fixating, no, doon sa produkto and features that you have built. And so if you launch, your priority is revenue, no? So in our incubation program, our testing, we usually don't provide free free app use or free technology use during the testing. So though we can price it at a certain pricing that is ideal, so we just wanted you to price it, no? Just come up with a price and put your product out there for people to use, because we wanted the users to value the money, the unit economics of that product, no? So kunwari, you're envisioning that that certain subscription should be 500 pesos per month. But since you are in an early pilot or testing, you can sell the subscription maybe at 150, and have some marketing note that you're the first to use this cutting edge technology. We promised to keep you updated on the upcoming improvement of the features, because users, if they are the captured market of the technology, so they would be invested in acquiring or having the first in use of the product. So this is similar with like how people are lining up outside the Mac stores or the Apple stores when there's a newly released iPhone. So, 'di ba? So we've been seeing a lot of this new in the news that they line up outside the Apple store to get the first technology or the first version of the technology. So similar to that, we also wanted that they would appreciate that there's a value, that there's a monetization value of your technology. So, if you launch your product, so monitor your revenues. How much are you earning? So, and you have to work on activities, your visibility that drives profitability. No, so for example, yung mga instead of being present in networking events, no, where you can't find your customer, you need to be present in events or in activities that drives customer to use your product or customer to download your app, no? So kunwari, there's two invitation. The first invitation is that you will be in a networking event where you will meet other founders and possible investors. And then the other event is maybe like an expo where MSMEs are there. And then it will be in a mall, for example. So which event should you go to, right? So normally, many would pick going to the event where they can meet other entrepreneurs and maybe investors. It's because of the high net worth value of the people who's there. But if you just launch your product, your company, it's good. It's more strategic to be present in a place or to be more visible in events where your market is visible. So if your market, for example, are the MSMEs, and then the people who used to go to the mall, then it's more strategic for you to go to that event where these people are communing, are going, no? So because yung goal mo is magbenta, you need to increase your revenue. So it would make you feel good to have some drinks, have some snacks with high net worth individual like investors, and take some photos. It will make you feel good. You can post it on your social media. People will feel like, oh, this guy have achieved so much in life, now hanging out with the investors and other entrepreneurs. But again, it's a mismatch in terms of what is your goal for your business. And in this case, at the moment, it's to increase revenue. So do the dirty work, no? So don't go yet to the glamorous part of your business journey. Go to the dirty work, which is to to sell your product and expose, to talk more about it, to showcase what your technology can do to your customer. And then if you're pre-launch, so if you are in the timeline of your business, preparing to launch your company, so here are a few things that you need to keep track or to be focused on. No? First is yung weeks until you have to monitor your progress weeks until you launch your company. No? So talk about or be focused, laser focused on the number of conversion with the users. So pre-launch, you are trying to onboard users to download the product, right? So yeah, you have your sample of how many are able to download the product and learn more about the product. So maybe they are captured by your online marketing. So for example, ikaw si Grab, so you would, do all the Facebook ads, the YouTube ads, etc., the appearance on the TV, organizing kiosk for the app download inside the mall. So this could be like, the part where you try to generate possible user of the product. So you need to monitor how many are trying to really sign in, no, because downloading an app is one thing, but signing in is another, no. So that's the second gateway to being interested to use the product, right? So 'di ba, like you can download the app through Google or through your app store, Google App Store, right? So but not all of us who download the app proceed to the next gateway, which is to sign in, where you put all your information, right? So yun, like you should be focused. How many of the people you encourage to download the app are now, turning into the next page, which is to sign in, put their information in the app, and then that will hint to the next stage, which is purchase, perhaps, no, trying in the purchase in the app, no. So yun, you have to monitor it, and if there is like a delay in terms of the target, kunwari 1,000, but you only have 500 who have signed up, or the conversion rate is just at 50%. So it means that you need to double down on activities that would increase downloads, so more people will be able to be interested in turning into the next gateway of the app, which is to sign in. No? So kumbaga, kung mas maraming nag-download, mas marami din, it will increase the likelihood of more people signing in, right? So, and then for example, so when Airbnb was setting, the founders write their weekly goals on the mirror. Now, so sa inyo, how are you monitoring? How are you handling your team? So are you planning on a monthly basis? Are you planning bi-monthly? So what if you're working on a startup company? In the initial months of building the business, planning should be at a weekly basis. No, so because change would be rapid on a daily basis. No, so it's good that you touch base weekly, and then you agree on goal update, per week, right? So, and then make it visible, make it, use platforms that will put everybody on the same page na you won't ask each other, you won't rely information to only one person like your CEO or your COO. It's important that, goals are clear, goals are agreed by everyone. So each of you could proceed with the work, with your contribution work dun sa goal achievement, at your pace, no, at your committed pace. You say, I will finish this in 2 days. So, it doesn't need, some decision making for other people, but you have to make it, complete the work in 2 days. So, for like some simple system to move your KPIs, or how do you progress? No, what things could help you progress with your identified KPIs, like your number of users, number of sign up, number of downloads, number of purchase, no, using your technology. No, first is you need to write down your ideas, no, so and rank. So there could be like many KPIs, but you have to identify which KPIs is closer to helping you achieve your business goal, right? And then you have to know like which part are you of your journey. Are you pre-launch? Are you launch? No? Are you at the launch stage? So you would know what level of KPIs is expected of you to achieve, no? Second is if your KPI or your key performance indicator doesn't move, you have to be honest, right? So you work with your team, you have to be honest why it's not moving. If it's caused by one person who's part of the team, let's say for example, marketing is not working or marketing strategy is not working, you have to expose it. You have to surface it. You have to surface it in the team and deliberately discuss, intentionally discuss it, so everybody could, could brainstorm and develop, the a new strategy that would help the marketing. What's so bad as about, Filipinos, bad culture of hiya, no? We sometimes have difficulty, or most of us have difficulty to be honest, be transparent about certain things because we are very kind. We don't want to offend our colleagues. We don't want to surface conflict, no, inside or within the team. So that's very bad in business. So if you're a startup company, agility, change is very fast. It should be fast, no? It should be very fast to a certain level that it will accommodate and follow market demand, no, and market validation. So it should be part of the culture to be honest, right, and transparent. And then third is do honest retros as well. No sugarcoating. So because most of us we would sugarcoat, we would tend to have like, sandwich approach. In startup because of the speed, we don't do that, right? So we are ruthless individuals. If you're a startup founder, you should be ruthless. You work overtime. Um, you know, we appreciate like work-life balance, but if you've seen successful unicorn startup company, so they're ruthless. They don't do weekends. I'm not telling you to not, spend your time with your family, but most of the successful companies, they're ruthless. They're very focused to their vision. So, and similar with retros, they don't sugarcoat. They're very straightforward because they wanted to achieve the goal, right? So, if you have to change some individuals in the team, so it should be surfaced to a very respectful discussion but not sugarcoated or not hide it and then entertain conflict later. So that's very bad. Uh it will harbor a lot of time from you, no? So also learn and unlearn. So some of you may be coming from corporate backgrounds with very established knowledge in terms of system development, or you have orientation of how things work in a system, in a corporate setup. So you need to unlearn because startup is not like that. Corporate innovation is not startup innovation. So for corporate innovation, they have a lot of money. They have put so much resources in the innovation that they have. So kaya yun, they have a lot of system that they follow on. For a startup, you don't basically establish your system and make your manuals immediately, right? So you have to test it out and then observe if that's really the system that would respond dun sa kailangan ng market, no? So because sometimes it's not how it works, right? So, for those who have well-established knowledge on certain discipline or concepts, so unlearning is, one critical thing to do, no, in running your business and adjust the course, of course. So, you adjust your pace based on if it wasn't working, do something different. Yung parang ganun. So, very, we read the trend, we read what's happening. So, we need to do it, no? So, and if it wasn't working, so you have to double check, no? So, you have to check what's the cause, what's the root cause, why it's not working. You change, but it should be guided by you, going back to your drawing board and discussing it deliberately what causes the failure, right? So and of course if you are an early stage startup, so like, I think most of you, because you are in an incubation program, so here's the things that should be in your task list, no, so for your team as an insight. First, talk to your users and or respond to your customer support message, no? So, um, a lot of companies in Silicon Valley and many successful companies maintain, certain number of users, and they go back and forth with these users. So they come up with the first version, they start with conversation before building the product, because that's how design thinking works the best. So we go to them, we ask them, what's your issue here? What's your problem? Then they give us a lot of problem. Tapos, we, kumbaga, prioritize which is the most painful issue that they experience on a daily basis. Because if it's too much of pain, no, that they experience, they would be willing to pay for that product. So then you build a product, and after you build the product, your minimum viable product, you go back to them and tell them, okay, is this what you want? Is this the version that you want? Would this be helpful to you? Try it on. And then when they try it on, they would have the things that they would appreciate and the things that they would wish to be added, their wish list, no? Then they go back again to this users, and then the users would tell them again what's still bad about the product, until such time that they come up with a version that's acceptable, na pasok dun sa, kaya ng user bayaran, no? And that they would not feel um robbed, or they would not feel that they fall short, no, with the product that they're consuming, no. So it has to be on a level of market acceptance, that you can establish already the system to build such feature or such product. And building features, your users will pay, because we've seen a lot of companies in the Philippines who have built products that, they just build products for the sake of building the products, and it's founded on the assumption that if you build a technology, people will use it, right? So, which is a very false assumption. It has to be market driven. No? So, features should serve, the motivation of the customer. It's because buying is an emotional decision making, right? So, what are the emotion that triggers buying in that transaction, right? So, if it's like skincare, dapat mapaputi, because many are insecure about their skin color, right? So, and they are, drawn to the social construct that if your skin is fair, then you are mostly, gonna be perceived as beautiful or handsome, and that will make you feel confident, showing up to public, getting a relationship, or showing up in events, because white people seem to be favored more in some instances. So yung mga ganun. And then so it means that hindi ito padamihan ng features. It's about having features that responds to the motivation of the users para bilhin nila. It's because again, it's the motivation that drives purchase, because that transaction purchase is a decision making, right? And third, and that decision making is emotionally driven, right? And third, getting your users to pay for what you've built, no? So hindi dapat libre. So if you are in a business to government model, so government would usually assume that since you're supported by USTP, CDO Bytes is a university, so they would like to get it for free. So we don't angle it that way. We don't send that narrative, no? So they have to pay because it's a business. And then we should also know, like, uh what motivation does the LGU have in terms of purchasing something. So we check, like, what are their issues, what are their problems, that they turn into bids, document in field reps, no? So do they have issue in terms of inventory? Do they have issue in terms of supporting university services, like improving their internet service, or maybe security inside university campuses. So those things could be checked as well, no? So we need to get our users to pay for the products. So like many apps, so most of the investors would check, like, the speed, or the timeline, or the process that gets the user into the payment landing page, no? So kung if you're buying in Food Panda, so how many seconds will it take for the user to get into the part kung saan magbabayad na siya? So because that's one priority, because this is business, right? So kung you have a product and then it serve a community, so it's not business automatically. So it could be a development work, community extension work. But if you have a product and it serves certain market who use the product, and there is a business model that is an engine to get the resource or the money from the customer, so then that becomes the work a business. So pag walang kita, walang negosyo, di ba? Right? So, and things that you should probably not be on your list as ano. So, first is investors coffee. So, if you're early stage, you don't go this ang tawag nito. It should not be part of your list because you're not yet fundraising. Investors will only invest if they see traction, if they see that your repeated work, display a scalable work, no? So because that will entice them to put their money. There is nothing yet at this point, if you're an early stage, that can be trusted because things are moving. The factors of your success are moving, no? So investors will not have confidence to invest or to put their money. Second, unfortunately, conference. So, you can show up or attend conferences, but don't be so, yung parang very active. Don't be frequent if it does not, ang tawag nito, drive sales, increase your onboarding of customer, to your solution, right? So, maybe like if your technology is for the academe, um, and they are your customer, then that could be an effective way to generate more market base. But if it does not concern them, so this could eat out or take so much of your time that it would divide your focus and resource. And third, arbitrary technical milestones. No, so don't be fixated with technology. Always go for, is that build, is that feature is something that the market would need, and is it validated by the market? Uh, I'd like to deep dive some more, no? So because many of the technical founder, yung mga may background sa technology, they are so fixated with the technology behind the build. So they would like to add one feature and then another feature and then another technology. And then they would say like, this is built by AI. We have used very curated or very sophisticated code. We have invented this. It can only be done by our team, etc., etc. Mind you, again, that whatever you build at the back end doesn't really matter to your customers. So they just wanted whatever is provided to them that they're interested on. No, so don't add a lot of technological, features just for the sake of discovery or just for the sake of you being so engrossed with your discovery, because it can be done, but don't put it as part of your vanity metrics. It could be like a self-discovery. You are learning a new thing, no? You are learning a new language in terms of maybe like, you know uh coding, whatever, AI, etc. But if it does not drive profitability and to your sales and to your traction, so you should not put that in your list, no? So, ayan. And yung mga common mental traps. So, mga dapat iwasan because this mindset could somehow delay us in terms of progressing to our entrepreneurial journey. So, yan, checking things off a list that will make you feel good. So you have your checklist, you are writing it in a pad of paper or in your notebook. And then once you check most of them that you put in the list, you feel so proud about yourself. And then you also, somehow feel successful. I mean, that's a ang tawag nito, private victory because you have done so much work in that day. So, but again, you have to go back to the goal in the list of things that you have. So you have 20 things in your list and you have completed 19 of them, right? You ask yourself, I have completed 19 things today, but you have to check, are there 19 things pushing up or increasing your onboarding, your profitability, your revenue? Because if your conclusion is that with the 19 things that you have done today, you have not even pushed a single person to download your app. So then that means you are spending so much time, like your time to 19 things that made you feel so tired today, na hindi productive to your business, right? So somehow in the optics, it makes you feel good because you're productive completing 19 things. But sadly, the 19 things that you have spent your time today did not push you to achieve your milestone, your important metric, which is perhaps profitability or sign in. No? So yun. So that's one thing. And then second, it's easy to convince something is working when it isn't. No? So don't convince yourself that it's, your build is working even if it's not working. So don't fixate on build, fixate on validation of your customer and fixate on what really is working based on what the customer give you, which inform will come out through feedback, right? So ano yung sabi nila dun sa feedback on how they experience your technology or your existing build, right? So because we have seen founders who have done so many things and very tired. And then once a customer would tell them some things, they would only capture the good things in in three sentences. Isa lang yung nakita nila doon, and that's the good thing. The two other sentences which tells them about the bad part of the experience, they don't capture it and they don't learn from it. No, so let's not fixate on the good side. If you're in the initial stage of the business, fixate on fixing the bad side, the bad experience, right? And third is yung perfectionism and indecisiveness. Those are the very difficult enemies to beat by entrepreneurs, no? So it's because we are designed to push to our limits, to push ourselves to our limits, to achieve perfection, no? So or somehow, to check all the boxes, right? And then indecisiveness also takes out a lot of opportunities from our hands. It's because um, we don't um, treat the resource, the very valued resource, which is time. You're a startup company, you have to make sure that you're using your time efficiently. No, so you have to decide promptly, decipher things promptly, so you can proceed with the next part of the plan. No? And then mitigating the downside rather than chasing the upside can feel falsely urgent as well, no? So you have to focus on, what really cracked down. Learn the root cause or determine the root cause of the crackdown, and then deep dive on fixing the crackdown. So don't be focused on the congratulations part. Focus on what are the emerging crisis that's on your way, no? So yun. And lastly, working on secondary problem instead of existential one. So it's because, again, we are picking on what is somehow in the optics manageable to use. So there are crises in business that are emerging. Sabi nila that these are the walking red flags in the business. So if you are seeing, operational crackdown, so you need to invest your time into fixing it. So by the way, if you have some questions, you can freely put them in the chat box. So it's 6:54. So maybe I'll jump into uh some of the things that should be taken out, no? That should be ang tawag nito, focus on in terms of metrics, no? So yun, here are the primary and secondary metrics that you should focus on, right? So just for you to put them sa listahan ninyo, no? So for primary, so these are the metrics that these are the primary metrics, no, that you need that helps your business to grow, no? So mostly these are the metrics that are gearing towards revenue, nagpapa-increase ng revenue or increasing your growth, no? So it's acquisition of your in the primary, it's acquisition of your customer and your customer purchasing as well your app, no? So like for example, sa marketing activities ninyo, so how many traffic of people are being pushed to use the product? And how many of those that were reached out by the marketing activities are able to purchase? So you have to check these things. No? So your purchase rate, um, um, and then the conversion of leads conversion to sales. You have to focus on that, and your customer acquisition cost. No? So in one customer, how much do you spend to get that transaction complete? No? And then your secondary metrics, no? So this talks about the metrics that you should track in terms of sabi nila ang tawag nito, these are the drivers of system development for your company, right? So this talks about your retention or your churn rate, kabaliktaran, no? Yung retention, how many of those who were converted from leads to sales, how many of those are staying in the company? So on a monthly basis, you are monitoring, no? So say for example, it's a booking app like Angkas or Grab. So how many of the regular users are staying in the platform and how many are fading out, hindi na ginagamit yung platform? Posibleng they still keep the app, but no transaction is happening like for 3 months already. So that's the churn rate, yung mga inactive na, no? So yung retention, the rate of the people who are still using the platform or who keeps on using the platform, the retained number of users, and the churn rate are the falling out rate of the user. And your unit economics, no? How much is your customer acquisition cost? How much does it take? How much in terms of resource does it take to build your product? No, that should includes not just the production, but also the added activities that should be financed to make sure that the product is able to land to strategic market points, no? Yung pagbayad natin sa mga marketing expenses, right? So dati when they were starting Grab in the Philippines, many taxis, no, many taxi cabs have turned from yellow color to green color kasi nag-promote sila ng Grab, right? And then many kiosks also were placed in the malls, near the exit points of the malls, just for them to offer to people who are trying to get their taxi ride to download the app. Would you like to experience Grab? We can book your ride for you. We can help you download the app, something like that. So they have spent so many money to organize all those activities, right? And then the acquisition cost that I mentioned. So like how much do you spend to complete a transaction? So yung mga vanity metrics that we told you are forbidden, pinagbabawal, sana na bigyan natin ng panahon at attention and resource. So that includes the amount raised, no? So that you will be focused on fundraising even if you are not yet ready, no? So focus on sales. Many people, especially today, that there's a lot of grants, that's being opened by government, civil society, in every corners sa Facebook, ang daming call for proposal, etc., etc. Many founders are very focused, spending so much of their time fundraising from all these grants, and they're not working on activities that drives their sales to go up, no? So kasi ang negosyo, it's all about sales, right? So it's all about making profitability. It's not about getting the resources, the money of other people, which technically is called fundraising. 'Di ba? So if you would like to grow your business, you increase your sales. You can get investment once you are ready to scale, once there are part of opportunities that you cannot complete or that you cannot get because of an absence of certain resource. So doon tayo nagpa-fundraising, not in the initial stage of the business. Team size, no? So there's a story before a venture capital firm put in some money, big amount of money to a startup company. Then after a week of getting the fund, the company hired 100 people, no, to work under it, no. So and then the venture capital firm kicked out the the CEO and said, "Okay, you're not using our funds well and strategically, so they had to. We wanted you out. For the meantime, we will try to manage the company." So they also like fired the newly hired people and then just keep the number that's strategic for the business because they said with your 100 people, they are still completing the work of 10 people. So there is no reason for you to hire this 100 people because if you hire 100 people, you need to put them in a building because you have to put like 100 seats, 100 table. You need to pay for your aircon bill and your electricity bill that would be able to, to give the comfort to your employees, 100 people, no? So yun, office space as well. So if you're a startup company, if having a big office is not part of growing your profitability, then that should not be where your money will go. No? So you should put your money in necessary essential expense that drives your profitability again. So I'll keep on repeating that. But again, these are temptations to be in an office. It will make us feel cozy. But if again it does not drive the goal of the business to increase your market, your margins, so then that will just divide our resource. Instead of putting that in marketing, you put that in your rental. So that is a high capital intensive expense. And then press hits, no? So like if you're not profitable but you're always on the headline, that does not make you a good business or make you a profitable business. So um being featured is good. It helps marketing, but if your market is are not the readers of all this news outlet, so then that also makes it like a weak marketing. No, so ano lang siya, it just create the placebo effect that you're a big company, you're a successful company. Many people will applaud you for that, but at the back end, in 6 months time, in 3 months time, your business will close. So that is more embarrassing, right? Rather than focusing on your business silently, growing your profitability and margins, and then once you are ready to raise capital to expand your market segment, then that will make you more successful, right? So tapos yung mga celebrity endorsement, again, if it's not driver of success to acquire more customer, you don't spend to getting their endorsement. Tapos we get in endorsers that matches our brand, no? Hindi lahat ng endorser na may following matches the brand, no? Especially these days, influencers are easily attracted to controversial things. They would be on live for 1 minute and then just cry and then expose the skeleton of their closet, no? Their family affairs, etc. So if you're in a wholesome branding of business, so that's not a good in uh spotlight to be in as well, no? And your Instagram like, no? So yung mga ganun. So uh it the current generation appreciate that, but again, it will just put us in a very divided mindset, no? So kasi we will chase number of likes rather than number of clients we serve, right? Sige. So yan. It's already 7:04, so I have a few more slides here, but maybe I can address some of your questions, or just leave the deck here for you to browse it through. So, and I can just leave my email for some of your questions. You can have like a one-on-one. Should you have should you need more time to discuss it with me? But my lines would be free. I'll just share my calendar in a bit. So but at this point, we started around 6:04. It's 7:05, so we are 1 hour on air already. So I just would like to give everybody a chance to maybe share or maybe ask some question before we end this webinar. Or maybe you can put in the chat, so what are your major realizations so far based on our discussion? If you have not formed yet your questions. Basically, I just count my friends. So for Marvin, also, with sharing the milestone of your R&D project, you were able to generate some trust from your friends. So that's a good one. So again, if this exposure would serve you to to hit your set milestones in your journey, that's okay. But if it divides, like, you are just your focus is just to keep on increasing all the likes and all the exposure, so then that's not a good focus, right? A question for me: do you have separate KPI for every key performers, and what most critical position for a startup? No, so in early stage, if you need to keep track of your validation data, no, so how much users have you validated your product with, and what are the insights that they're sharing with you, no? So if you are still trying to form your idea or your concept. But if you have fully launched your product already in the market, so it should be conversion of your marketing activities to purchase or to sales. And the adjustment of the result, the adjustment of the activity based on the result of your daily activities. Because sometimes we would end up, spending so much of our money on activities that don't really work, especially yung mga pabonggahang activities, launch, being in the mall. If being in the mall won't really convert much customer, then you have to stop it. It's expensive to organize events in malls. No, so you need to go, perhaps, like, if your customers are students, you need to go outside the universities, go to, areas where they convene, to coffee shops, but you have to follow where they are. So we call it market channels, diba? In our business model canvas, there's a block there. It's called channel. So channel are areas. It could be platform, it could be places, it could be um the platform that they consume information from. So where they would mostly spend most of their time, no? So you need to follow where they are so that you can be present there and communicate, reach out to them, to be interested, to learn more about your product, and hopefully purchase. Steve Jobs said, yes, and that's the reason why you need to be active in being visible with your market channels. Thanks, Marvin, for sharing that. So yun, so from Marvin, mentioned, customers don't know what they want. You have to show it. So that's why you have to be present in market channels where they usually are convening, so you can strategically build the relationship. And going back to business model canvas, there is a segment there, customer relations, no? So these are activities that you do, when you already figure out which channels are they convening, so you can devise activities that would build warmer relationship, with the customer segment, so they convert their interest to sales or to purchase of your product. So in marketing natin ginatawag na funnel, no, marketing funnel. So that from awareness, so that it would lead to actual purchase of your product. So thanks from Sir Ari, and from Arian Fe. So thanks for the realistic examples. Hearing out the customer is good, and producing more of what's selling more. Yes. Yun. So because it's really important to follow on market insight, right? All right. So just back reading some of your comment from earlier. Okay, wala na akong nakita. There's a question. Okay, so if you have some more questions, just unmute yourself, and you can also drop them in the chat box. Ayun, so there's also an interesting insight pala kanina kay Marvy Rafael. So he said lots of paperwork for the UST proposal, we get rejected. So yun talaga. So since there's scarce resource in the Philippines in terms of R&D and startup support, so many of the founders compete for the same opportunity like the UST, no? So like yung mga startup grant fund program, maybe in one season of posting, there's like thousands of people who submit. So painstakingly, no, so hopefully once you have the data already that supports your initial validation, it actually increase your likelihood to get the funding. You know? So, but the good thing about submitting in this grants program is getting the feedback. No? So after you submit your paper, they will give you the feedback. No? So what went wrong, what are the things that they need some more justification or some more knowledge about your proposal. It's because these are the expert opinion about how you can better position, how you can better uh, improve on areas, that needs some more work, for your dev team, for example, and clarity as well, like how clear is your proposal, because sometimes when we're in the process of writing it, so we kind of feel like we have reached the output level na klaro na good, straightforward na atong pagka-communicate in writing sa ato ang ideas, but when other people read the work, so it gives them a different appreciation of what we wanted to put in the paper, no? So that's also like a check and balance situation wherein we kind of know how they appreciate this discussion that we put in the paper. Tapos, yun, so yung speaking engagement sa events, so if you're in the early stage, it's okay to get like, once in a while, but if it becomes very frequent and it eats out a lot of your time, so that becomes problematic. So it's because kung titignan natin yung landscape, no? So many of the successful entrepreneurs don't really show up every day. So like, have you been seeing all these unicorns being visible on a quarterly period on screen, on TV, on talks? So it's because they're busy with business operations. So and they are even like scale up level. So and they have kumbaga seen that their time is precious and they have to manage it on things that matter. So it would really drain us, no? So the body will also get tired if we attend so much of ang tawag nito, mga events and functions. Um, Somehow it will gain you some traction, but is that the traction that converts into sales again? So you have seen so many parang nagiging celebrity level founder, but where are they now? So have they reached a point of of success in terms of running their business, right? So ayan. And I think, yeah, see Arnold. Hey, Arnold, do you have some question?
Yeah. Yes, good evening, Sir Richard. I just want to know, based on your experience from startups and some meet up with some of the investors, could you confirm na the most, um, yung malaking percentage para mag-gain ka ng mag-invest dun sa idea mo or sa MVP mo is dapat meron ka ng profit na pwede mong ipakita dun sa traction mo regardless if it is small or big. Kasi as far as I know, even though na meron ka ng mga ginawang mga ibang mga tractions, like for example, nagano ka ng mga meron ka ng close group para matest yung ano mo. I mean, it gives way, pero it's not that big. The most important thing po ba is na yung talagang meron ka ng traction na masasabi na kumikita ka na. Kasi, which is, syempre, parang nilalagay ko rin yung sarili ko sa as an investor. Kung ako naman mag-invest din sa kanya, so syempre, ang pinakamahalaga talaga is dapat yung mag-invest ako, yung kumikita na kasi nakikita mo na, oh, may kita na pala to. Sige, so ibig sabihin, there's a opportunity there. Siguro kasi ngayon, maliit pa lang siya, kaya maliit pa lang nakita niya. Tama po ba?
That is partly true, Sir Arnold, but for some, not really expecting profit good, no? So, but it's more on seeing a trend. For example, month one, naa siya 1,000 users. Month two, naging 5,000 users. Month three, naging 10,000 users. So, though it's not yet profitable, so the revenue is not yet, kumbaga, hindi pa bawi good ang iyang put in money. But the investors would appreciate that the system of activities dito sa marketing, dito sa customer acquisition, is telling that, oh, this business is growing. So they have a growing market share. So and then in the promise that they mentioned, mayroon silang project sila, kani nga millions of Filipinos and Asian people is our market. And then in the traction, they're also simulating how they are slowly uh, taking in the people that's part of that promised market na ilahang gina-target, no? So, because investors, they would check about the promise, which is the market size, no, of the business, and they also will check about how is this, how the founders, how the entrepreneurs are doing things, to strategizing things to get that market share. Kasi 'di ba, daghan kayo ang tawag namo ana in our work are mga PowerPoint founder. So they have a lot of promising ideas. They have presented it to a lot of events, conferences, exhibits, expos, hackathons. They win best pitch, no? They win a lot of awards. But they have not started building and, making the product, tangible, making the product out there and selling, no? So it's a promising idea but wala na panindigan ba. So but going back to your question, so uh, the investors are interested to check the promise and how the promise is validated by the activities or by the work of the entrepreneurs in business dev, in terms of marketing, in terms of product reliability, no? How the product is, kumbaga, solidifying iyahang value proposition that it offers. Is the value proposition that it offers the same? Is it appreciated on the similar reason nga nung gina-consume siya sa market, no? So based on review and feedback. So yeah, it's correct that profitability is an indicator.
Thank you so much, Sir Richard.
Thank you, Sir Arnold, for that question. Ayan. Anyway, so it's 7:19. You must be on your way to your dinner. So, but I will not eat much of your time tonight. So, if you would like to have a one-on-one, feel free to email me. Nag-drop kong email gara. We can have, 30 to 45 minutes conversation as a follow-up for this lecture. And by the way, if your startup company is in the industry of circular economy, we have an accelerator program. We are providing accelerator support to help you activate and strengthen your value and supply chain for your business. And it also comes with a grant, no? So we have a program called Circulab. So you can raise funding from our program up to 1.3 million pesos and without any equity share responsibility. So it's a grant from European Union. We will be working with some of our partners, hopefully with CDO Bytes as well, starting March towards the next 3 months para mas daghan maka-access sa mga opportunities. So, maybe we might see you in Cagayan. So, to talk more about these opportunities. Sige, all right.
Thank you, Sir Richard. With all na imong gipang-ingon regarding sa KPI, na need gyud dili ta mag sugarcoat sa atong mga kauban kay this is business. Good, magay na to kuanon even if kami dinhi pod sa among office, we don't do that because we know that we have a KPI to do and also we have to serve our founders and it's a wonderful explanation na imong gibuhat, Sir Richard. No? Thank you again for accepting our learning session invite. Yearly na nato na siya. Si Sir Richard, yearly na nato ginakuha because we really love how he explained and how you explain it to our startup and they really understand it directly na gid kaayo. So si Sir Richard, no, another TBI po siya sa Davao base. So we cannot wait dito sa inyong circular, sir, and we hopefully mag-collab kita soon to the very soonest. And probably may taga-collab sa upgrade po. Gamay ra ba kita tong circle. So I would like to request before I present the certificate of appreciation, I would like to request everyone to please turn on your cameras so I can get a quick photo with our speaker, no? I can see some of you are opening up your cameras. I am now waiting for if maka-open ba si Sir Potrak. Si Ma'am Marcena is already here. Ma'am Iara and Sir Rio. I'm waiting for you both na lang po. But if you can't, just give us a thumbs up so that I can snap na the photos. Okay, so I think si Sir Rio is dili siya maka-open sa iyang camera. So everyone, give us a big, big smile in 3, 2, 1. Smile. Perfect. How about a walkie pose? So in 3, 2, 1, smile. Yay! Naami kuan karon, naami bag-o na post sa CDO Bytes. Last na lang gid ni, a see on a check. So muna mo kuan karon CDO Bytes. Literal man mi na bytes, so CDO Bytes. Okay, in 3, 2, 1, smile. Yay! Perfect. So don't leave yet. I will allow me to share. Nakahulog akong earbuds, but allow me to share my screen for a certificate of appreciation. Okay, is my screen visible na sa inyong end? So allow me to present to you the certificate of appreciation is proudly presented to Mr. Richard Day for imparting his value insights and experience as a resource speaker during our Firestarter Learning Session 6, Traction and Matrix, under CDO Bytes Firestarter Incubation Program, held via Zoom on February 18, 2026 from 6 p.m. to 7:23 p.m. Given the 18th day of February 2026 at USTP Cagayan de Oro. This is signed by our TBI manager, Dr. French Maverick Lorilia. Together with this is our Vice Chancellor of Research and Innovation and Extension, Engineer Alex Morial, and our USTP CDO Chancellor, Attorney Jonel O. Albina. So, Sir Richard, thank you so much for your time. Sir, even if medyo naglisod ta sa ato ang imuhang time nito pag-travel, but you did you make us time gyud nga mag-makeup class sa ato ang learning session, sir. Thank you so much, Sir Richard, and we hope to see you on our next cohort.
Yes, see you.
I-secured na gyud na.
All good.
So, amo na nag-secured, sir. So, and hopefully na ma-invite po ka na mo sa among demo day, sir. Kay since basin di ay dili ka book na naman. So,
Yes.
okay. So, thank you so much and goodbye everyone. Learning session, announcement lang, learning section will be on Friday. So, I will be posting it on the Facebook page. So, same time and kuan lang yapon. Yeah, so sa katong announcement gihimo na nako last learning session atong Friday. So same lang yapon siya. I just hope that kato inyong mentoring session is inyong yung gipiga inyong mentor o gipiga pod mo sa inyong mentor kay at least nakuha na to ang 1 hour na inyong mentoring session. So naay some na wala pa naka-mentoring, so please don't hesitate to chat your or nga sa man Rio napiga gyud kay grabe magid kay inyong learning session giabot mo 1 hour 30 minutes.
Gikan sa 1 hour lang, naabot gid siya 1 hour 30 minutes. Maayo gid na inyong pagpiga kang attorney Daba. So mo gid na ang kuan gid nato no. But I request everyone to please, if katong wala pa nakapaschedule sa inyong mentors, dito na mo contact, and please take note on their feedback and also their unsa ilang ipabuhat sa deliverables kay para mag-abot ninyo sa inyong next ninyo na learning session on mentoring session on March, maka diretso na din mo present. We request naman pod nga if you do the mag-present kin mo slides kung mahimo kay para na ay visual si mentor when kuan mo mag-mentoring kay medyo lain kaayo sa side pod sa mentor kung magingon o siya kuno na og imagine kung unsa man ilay tabo or unsa progress sa iyang gipahimo sa inyo ha. So thank you so much everyone, and mag-dinner na kitang tanan. Salamat kaayo. And I'll see you on Friday. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.